What's going on, guys? My name is Frosty, aka the Alpha Like and Rock, and today I'm bringing you our NPL Week 5 matchup against the Bexleyheath Bisharps. As you guys can see on the screen, you can see his team. He has a very, very hard-hitting physical team with the likes of Tapu Bulu, Victini, Excadrill, Megatitar, Gligar, Kyurem, Lantern, Gyarados, Excavalier, Garbodor, and Ferroseed. So his team very, very, very hard hitting on the physical side, especially Victini, Bulu, Excadrill, and Titar are his biggest hitters there. That Gyarados is also a big threat because I have seen him sweep a team with using Z-Move Gyarados and Dragon Dance. So he Dragon Danced, Z-Move to get the extra boost, and then at +2 pretty much swept everybody with pretty much swept the other team with Waterfalls. So this is going to be a very, very tough matchup for us because he just has this Sand Core, which is, you know, very, very hard hitting. And so, though he does have a lot of ground weakness, that Tapu Bulu does neutralize that with grassy terrain and allows him to have a little bit of regeneration. So, with this, we're going to bring a very, very different team this week. And starting with that, let's start off with the team. So the first Pokemon I want to bring is our new Pokemon that we picked up, and that's going to be Dredigan, Jade, our Dredigan. Now this set is basically our defensive set. It's a support set, and it's also meant to... It's meant for Victini, and it's meant for Excadrill, and it's meant for its physical attackers. So, as it is, I am expecting him to bring Scarf Victini. That is a big, big thing. I'm very much expecting him to bring Scarf Victini, as that is a huge, huge probability because Scarf Victini pretty much outspeeds the team, unless I bring a Scarf user. So, and even if I did, I'd have to bring somebody who has a Scarf that's higher speed than a Victini, but this set... excuse me. This set basically is to deal with Victini and to catch it on U-turns while he tries to get the advantage while doing damage to him. So with that, we're going to be rocking Glare, Stealth Rock, Dragon Tail, and Sucker Punch. Glare is great because since he has so many ground type users, Glare goes through that. And so what I want to try to do is I want to try to Glare that Excadrill and get that Excadrill slowed down, so that way if it's under Sand Rush, even though it's glared and it's paralyzed, his speed now falls at least a more manageable range. And if I can catch the Victini too, the Victini will be great. So this is just a great support set. You know, Rough Skin Rocky Helmet, so anybody who does physical contact to it is going to take a decent chunk of damage. Sorry, and then Sucker Punch is to catch that Victini off guard, so that way if he tries to, you know, if he comes in, wants to flare blitz, if he knows I'm low, I can go for Sucker Punch. He goes for that, he can take some damage. You know, it might not kill him, but then if he makes contact, the Rough Skin Rocky Helmet should kill him. And all of that. So next I'm going to be bringing Whitney. This is going to be our Curse body set and Sap Sipper. This is basically to come in and set up on Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu cannot use Wood Hammer or the Horn Leech, so this will definitely give us a +1. And then if I set up a couple of curses, in some testings I've done, just kind of testing around his team, if I set up like 2 curses, his team has a hard time dealing with that, as he would have to come in and bring a huge special attacker to deal with it. So Kyurem, if Kyurem comes in, Kyurem could do it. Dropping a Draco like Specs Kyurem or even Life Orb Kyurem can do it. It would take 2 Ice Beams to do it, but I mean, he would take a huge +2 body slam, and that would pretty much end the day there. So this is meant to be our setup sweeper at the end, and pretty much just ensure that we get all, you know, ensure that if we get a couple of curses up, we're going to do some damage to something here. Next, we're going to be bringing our Princess Lele. This is the expert belt set. As expert belt, this does if this hits something, it's going to hit it extremely hard, especially if it's super effective. So I think a Moonblast, just about 2 shots Tyranitar in the sand, and then Focus Blast, I believe one-shots the Excadrill, and it actually, I believe Focus Blast actually one-shots the Tyranitar as well. Shadow Ball is for Victini, so that way that will one-shot Victini, as all 3 of the other moves are resisted. So that Shadow Ball is definitely for that Victini, but I'm also expecting Victini to hit me with I need to be able to make sure its speed comes down and then hit that thing with a Shadow Ball when it's already done one V-Create, as I'm expecting physical Victini. Next I'm bringing our Crobat. Now this Crobat is Scarf Crobat, as this is just enough speed. It's not a lot of speed investments, but it's just enough speed investment and a jolly nature to outspeed Scarfed Victini. Now, I will outspeed Scarfed Victini every time, and this is also going to be a specially offensive set, and it's only going to have U-turn just to have U-turn for just to U-turn to get initiative. It will do some chip damage to Victini, which will also be nice. Sludge Bomb is for the Bulu. Should he bring it, it should one-shot Bulu. Hidden Power Electric is for that Gyarados, should it actually come. It does, I believe, two-hit KOs the Gyarados, especially if it's going to start setting up and doing the Z-move shenanigans that I've seen it do before. I definitely don't want to leave that out, especially if it comes in, takes rocks damage, and if it takes rocks damage, it gets one-shotted by Hidden Power Electric. And then Heat Wave is for the Excadrill, so I'm hoping to glare that Excadrill down so that way I can Heat Wave it and kill it. As long as it's not a Solvest, it is a 2-hit KO. Next, we're going to be bringing Hercules. This is going to be our Choice Scarf set. This will not outspeed Victini, unfortunately. I would need Victini to have -1 after a V-Create. Like I said, I am expecting physical Victini. If you bring special Victini, I'm going to be in a whole world of trouble here, because I am not expecting special Victini, as V-Create just hits extremely hard. It really does. But it's gonna have Close Combat, Knock Off Rock Slide, and Mega Horn. Scarf Moxie, pretty much standard set here. Rock Slide is for Kyurem, and I think it was just an extra move to hit the Lantern as well. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was just a coverage move, just to cover, just in case. And I don't remember. It was it can hit Victini. That's what it was. It was Knock Off and Rock Slide hit Victini. So. And then lastly, we're bringing Mega Alakazam, our Alibaba. So this has just enough speed to outspeed. I think it was Gyarados at +1. Yeah, I think it has just enough speed after Mega Evolution to outspeed Gyarados at +1. Because if I remember correctly, at +1, I think it gets to like 220 something. I don't actually remember. Sorry, I don't actually remember why the speed EVs I put it like this, but I know it's to outspeed something. It's to outspeed something and gain a little bit of extra defenses and extra HPs. And so we're going to be rocking Psychic, Hidden Power Fire. That is for Excadrill, Dazzling Gleam, and Shadow Ball. So these are just basic coverage moves to kind of cover everything. And so under Psychic Terrain should do decent chunks of damage. So next... so that's the team. As you can see, we brought Jade, Whitney, Princess Leia, Raz Al Ghul, Hercules, and Alibaba. Next, I'm going to go bring up the game, and you guys can see what happened. All right, guys, we're back. And as you can see, his team, he brought just about exactly who I thought he was going to bring. I was expecting him to bring that Gligar. The Lantern is something I was not expecting him to bring. And the Kyurem is kind of a new one, but I was expecting it at the last minute for him to bring it. And I do have answers for it in Alibaba and also in Hercules. Hercules can definitely answer it. So with this, let's start the match. So I lead off with Crobat because I just want to get a quick U-turn off as he leads with Excadrill. Now here was a little bit weird because I was expecting him to lead with the Sand, and he didn't. So here I had a thing. I was like, okay, does he stay in, fearing that I have the Heat Wave? And I didn't know if I wanted to reveal having Heat Wave this early. So I was like, I'm Scarfed, and if I go for Heat Wave, I'm gonna have to switch out next turn because I don't think he's gonna stay in and sack this thing off. He's gonna have to switch. I was like, well, I could just get initiative, and if he does physical damage, maybe I'll go into Jade, and Jade can then, I can see if he's Life Orb, but I don't know what he is. So I was like, okay, I should be able to set up on Whitney on this one. So my plan is to just U-turn. So I U-turn, do a little bit of chip damage, and I go into Whitney here as he goes just for the Iron Head, and he does a clean amount of damage. Now, here I'm at 62%. I'm like, okay. And I see that he's Life Orb. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can do this, and I didn't calc this, and this is where not checking your calcs definitely does not come in handy. This whole match, I was pretty much under the assumption of things, and I was assuming this match pretty much did not work for me. Assuming did nothing for me. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I should be able to survive this. I'll do, I should only take like 35-40%, and then after that I won't be able to, and then after a +1 he can't do too much damage to me. But my stupid butt, not thinking, hey, he's life orbed and full attack invested. Hey, I should probably switch out and preserve this thing, or at least milk drink. And I think actually I was milk drinking here, as I was gonna milk drink and then see how much damage it did. But he earthquakes and takes me out immediately. So that's my stupidity on this one. My assumption. So I lost him on turn 2, which was dumb. Now here I just bring in Jade, and I'm gonna go for the glare. So as he brings in Gligar. So Gligar, he knows, is his set. So I'm gonna set up Stealth Rocks as he gets paralyzed here, which works for us. I'm just gonna go for the Dragon Tail, but he does get the defog off. So I do get the Dragon Tail. It does do a small amount of damage. As I bring back that Excadrill, he does not want to stay in because he doesn't want to get glared. So he switches out, which is a good move on his part, as I go for glare again, as he goes into Kyurem, which is a great thing for us because we definitely needed to slow down this Kyurem. It's so bulky. Here, I'm just going to switch out because I don't want to take the Ice Beam, and he gets a substitute up. So now I know that he is either substitute Life Orb or he is substitute leftovers. So as the turn goes, I don't see leftovers, so I have to assume he's substitute Life Orb. So I need to break that sub because I cannot let him be there. And he does a clean 67, revealing also the Life Orb. He knows he can't stay in. Here I should have just gone for Shadow Ball, predicting the Victini to come in and take this, which would have been great, by the way. If I predict that, I would have done a huge chunk of damage to this thing, and I probably almost would have one-shot it. And so I do this. It only does 25%. Here I can't take a V-Create as I expected. So my switching is Jade every time, but he does go for the U-turn, which is great for us. This will also allow me to get my rocks back up, and also to do a clean chunk of damage back to it due to Rough Skin Rocky Helmet. So he does go for the U-turn. As you can see, it does about 29%. So every time he switches. So here I'm like, okay, I got to get my rocks back up, as luckily he gets paralyzed here. Here I'm like, okay, if I go for Dragon Tail, I should be able to survive this Ice Beam. I have enough investments. I think I should be able to survive it. Not calcing it again. No, I never survived it. Not even at 100%, I never survived it. So I should have switched out here, which was dumb on my part. I should have switched back into Lele, and I should have sacked Lele to get the terrain up and then get into Alibaba, as Lele does get the kill here. And then Victini comes in, takes 25%. He is scarfed. I am expecting a V-Create here. So here I probably should have, I think what I did is I clicked U-turn again just to get some initiative, as I know it's resisted. I know this thing comes in, and I go into Alibaba, as I know he can't take a Psychic. And so here I Mega Evolve on a Lantern. I do go for the Psychic, expecting, even expecting him to go into the T-Tar. This Psychic reveals to me that this Lantern is full specially defensive. It is meant to kind of come in and take special attacks, but it doesn't take the Psychic very well, so he can't take that all that well, so he has to switch out here. And it's a good move on his part, because I do predict that he switches out and goes into T-Tar, predicting me to go for another Psychic, and I do go for the Dazzling Gleam. And I go for Dazzling Gleam here, and it does no damage. This is a fully specially defensive Mega T-Tar. Now here, I am not for certain, because he brought a fully evolved, he already brought it Mega Evolved. So I don't know if that calc really matters, because thinking about it, he probably should have taken more damage than I think. So you know what? Actually, I gotta see something now. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I want to check this calculation real quick. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back. After doing that calc, he only would have taken about an extra maybe 4 to 5%. So I don't think it would have mattered in the long run. It's possible. I guess I'll never really know, but that is a rule. I just realized right now that he should have not brought in this thing already fully Mega Evolved, as you have to bring it as a regular form, so that way if you catch something on switching, it has to take damage in its normal form. So I'll have to ask them about this one. I'll have to ask about this one because technically he did bring a fully evolved Megamon. So we might have to do something about this again. But I'm going to ask about that later on after this video. So, but anyways, I go for Dazzling Gleam. He doesn't do very much. He does set up the sand. I go for another Dazzling Gleam. It still only does, 28% at most. And he goes for the Pursuit, expecting me to switch out, which I'm not going to switch out because I knew this thing was going to have Pursuit. I go for another Dazzling Gleam. It does another 29%. So here, this is where I'm not sure that him coming in normally, this could have killed. This might have actually killed his T-Tar, which would have put me in a better spot, as Alibaba would have had as he would have had that thing dead, and had to bring in probably something else to take damage. But he then goes for rest here, and he gets all of his HP back. I decide I'm gonna switch out as I can't take another sand, so I switch into Princess Leia as he reveals Sleep Talk, and he nails the Pursuit here, and ends up killing me. But I do set up the Psychic Terrain again, which was nice. I go into Hercules here, just to scare it out, as I go for the Mega Horn, and it hits Gligar and does nothing. I should have gone for probably Knockoff here. This is where Knockoff would have come more in handy, and I could have knocked off that Eviolite, which then would have made it take more damage here. So, and then I switched back in Alibaba. I trace Sandvale. As he goes for the Defog, he does get it off. So now rocks are permanently gone. Here he goes back into T-Tar, as he knows he can just kill me on this one with sand. I do. Oh, no, I'm Sandvale. I forgot about that, so I don't take sand damage. As he does actually connect the Stone Edge, and he kills us. I go into Hercules here to scare it out. He does switch out, goes back into that Gligar, and because of Sandvale, I do miss. This was huge because I actually could have killed it. I could have killed it before, I could have done, I think after the third one, I could have killed it and then came in and sacked something off. And then he would have had to sack another thing off just to get, just to deal with Hercules, as that crit would have actually killed it had I had hit the first one. And so he does go for the U-turn here. He does do a little bit of damage. He goes into this Victini, and this is pretty much how the match goes from now on. As Victini pretty much cleans up, as we take a, we are able to get rid of we are able to kill the Gligar after this. But now that I realize that he brought a fully evolved Megamon, I'm going to have to check with the officials on this one, because I don't know exactly how that's supposed to be, because you're not supposed to bring a fully evolved Mega. It's supposed to be in its normal base form first, so I'm going to have to check with the league mods on this one, because I am uncertain exactly how that is going to work. But as you can see, we take a 4-0 loss here. This was a huge loss, and it puts us at a 3-2 record, which is not very great for us, but I'm going to definitely check in with that, and I will probably leave an annotation, not an annotation, I'll leave something at the end of this video once I get a ruling on this, because I'm not for certain if that's going to make some huge difference, as I probably could have killed that T-Tar. It would not have changed the outcome, but it could have actually changed the differential number, which is a big thing. It could have changed it down to either a possible 3 or 2-0, as he would have had to make some more switches and do some stuff. He wouldn't have had T-Tar to go into against my Alakazam, and I could have actually saved Alakazam for later as either sack fodder or whatever, but he would not have had that Alakazam later on, which is a huge thing here. So I'll have to definitely check that out, and we'll have to definitely play around that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and as I said, I will leave something at the end with a ruling of what happened here. All right, see you in the next video. Next week we play the Houston Toros, and hopefully we get some redemption here. So all right, see you in the next video.